Internet game. Think about Squid Game, but for NFTs. 5 games over 5 days, elimination battle royale type thing, and the winner gets blue chip NFTs. So when it comes down to internet game, it is launching soon. Now here is a look at the prize pool. We've got a Bored Ape, Mutant Doodle, and you can see that there's some big heavy pieces in here that are going to the winners. Now what's great is this isn't just like a first prize winner takes all. There are lots of different prizes and they are still deciding what they're actually kind of filling up in terms of the prize pool. Now you mint your game token, which is this. Now, the way that the token works is the token is essentially like the currency of the game. So you play a game, you stake that token, which means you can't sell it during the middle of the game. If you win the game, you get that token back. If you lose the game, you kind of lose the token, but you don't lose it. You just lose it for the rest of the series of games. So you get it back right at the end of the game, but it just means that you can't move on to game 2. Now, if you've won game 1 and you've got that token, you can choose to unstake that token, not play in game 2, and then sell that to someone that lost it in game 1, which means that you could get through 1 or 2 rounds, then sell that token for more because people then want to get into the next sort of round and keep playing and have a chance at getting through to the next sort of game, which means that if you get to game 4 and you get a token, you could then sell that, which then means your token's more valuable because people may want to play to then get into the final round. So there's a bunch of game theory that comes down to it, and that's why this game token aspect is really interesting. Now, when it comes down to what you actually win, so if you get through the 5 games, you come like sort of in the sort of top 15, 20, you'll win some NFTs. But everyone that makes it through the sort of 5 games in the 5 days will win a Metaverse Access card. Now, the Metaverse Access card is kind of like your key to all future internet games, but you also get sort of airdrops and cool free stuff, things like that, whitelist spots, all that. So the idea that there is incentive to continue to play and play through to the end, even if you don't win the top spots, you're still going to then have the access key, which is then going to be valuable in itself moving forward with sort of whitelist spots, all those types of things. Now look, I think I should break down the mint information. Now there is no max supply, so it's like an unlimited supply. So it means that as many people can kind of mint as they want over the 72-hour period, and then at the end cuts off, then people start playing the game. So it's really interesting because this could blow out and a lot of people could move in, but the way that they've tiered this is very interesting. Whitelist, 0.05 ETH each. Bronze list, which is the next tier down, 0.1 ETH each. Now, when the public mint starts, you've got sort of 0.15, but it goes up by 0.025 for every 1,000 sold. Now, what this means is it means that the floor price will keep increasing. So the game theory that comes down to it, you could buy on the public mint, and then sort of 5,000 or 6,000 people later, the mint price has gone up. So you can instantly make, like, it's not a huge flip at all, but you could just make a little flip. You could almost make a 0.1 ETH flip because they've sold 4,000, which is crazy because it means if they sell 8,000, you can almost make a 0.2 flip just by getting in early. So before the games have even started, this is kind of like, it's a real interesting way that this is kind of played and structured. And I'm super excited because it's this kind of innovative approach that comes down to some NFTs, which I think is really interesting. Now, they've got sort of 60,000 people in their Discord, and on Twitter, they've got sort of 14,000 followers. Now, what is cool about this is there's actually, I'll bring this up here, and I'll actually link this video up here so you can check it out. The founders themselves have done a kind of a little internet game explain. I've kind of broken it down here, but you can also hear in their words how they want to do it. And this is another great thing. More founders should do this. More founders should sit in front of a camera and just talk to the people that are in the project, because I'm so sick of just reading text. I don't want to read text. I want to see the people, I want to hear their voice. So that's a big sort of green flag for me. So when it comes down to internet game and the 5 different games that they're going to be playing, they've kind of teased them here, but essentially what they want to do is they want to be games that aren't necessarily that gamers have to play. So it should be anything that sort of like your mom or your uncle should be able to kind of pick up and just easily be able to kind of play, even if they're not a gamer, be able to kind of play these games, because they want it to be fair for everyone. You also can play on a sort of a computer or a smartphone, anything that has like a stable internet connection, you will be able to play these games. And this is where they want to take it. They want to make sure that it's accessible and everyone can be in on this. Now, what I want to say about the games is they're keeping the games super cryptic. Just like in Squid Game, what they want to do is they don't want anyone to have an unfair advantage. The mods don't even know what the games are going to be. Only the two founders are, because the founders know what the games are. They're keeping it super tight, super locked. So when the game hits, it happens. There's no unfair advantage. They really want to kind of make this a fun and engaging experience, which I'm super hyped for. Now, I really like this innovative approach when it comes down to 5 games, 5 days, when it takes when it takes a big bag, and it's just, it turns NFTs into something that's a little bit more fun, a little bit more interesting, and actually builds the approach. What the founders were actually saying is they want this to actually be a social experience. They want people to actually be engaged with it and kind of add to it and build it up, because I can definitely see that lots of memes on Twitter coming out as this kind of runs up and people are kind of playing, and this could actually hit really well. Now, what I'm saying right now, this is not financial advice. You need to do your own research, but this is the kind of project that the big players get in. When Generative Dungeon happened, some big guys saw that, price ran up and pumped. When sort of Wolf Game happened, it looked interesting, big players saw it, they jumped in, it pumped. This is the kind of game and the kind of thing that's different enough that if you're smartly thinking about it, even if you get on the public sale, there's going to be enough hype and enough difference in it that people may actually want to like some of the big players in the space, jump in and it'll run up. Now, it's going to be fun because it's almost good to buy a bunch so you can kind of sometimes play the games, sometimes not play the game, so you can sell the tokens. So there's, even if you're not playing the game, there's a chance to then make money for people that want to continue to play the game. Like, this is a really interesting concept. And I think for me personally, what my strategy is I will get in, I will buy, and sort of full disclosure, I am on the whitelist for this project. So I will be getting in on the whitelist. I will most likely buy a couple on the public sale if the gas isn't too high, in preparation for this to actually run up. I will most likely play the games through. If I can see a 4 or a 5x flip on something that I've actually done when it comes down to sort of getting to round 2, 3, 4, if I get that far, hopefully I do, then I would most likely sell the token, because I don't think that I'm skilled enough to actually win the tournament, but I think I'm good enough to get through a couple of rounds to then sell the token to someone else that wants to continue to play. So that's where some of my strategy comes down to this, and this is why I think it's an interesting and novel concept. I think that this is, for people that are new to the space, when something new or different comes up, this is usually your opportunity to kind of take advantage and actually have a good run. It's when there is a project that is the same kind of profile picture project or whatever, it just doesn't really add much difference or value to the space. It usually kind of just sort of performs quite average. The new and different stuff actually does have a bit of a pump and usually sets the trend for what's to come, and people want to have a piece of this kind of NFT history. So if you are new to the space and you're kind of thinking, oh, this doesn't look as cool as a penguin profile picture, the idea that this is different enough that people may catch on, and then this may actually lead to sort of monetary gains if you play it right. And the other thing is, it can almost be like a lottery ticket. You're buying in, you're playing a game, and there are huge rewards at the end. The rewards at the end aren't sort of needed for someone to actually buy your bag and hold it at the end. This is like sort of you're buying in and there is a reward at the end, and it's not contingent of someone buying your NFT off you, which I'm a big fan of and I really like. So that's my thoughts kind of sort of spilled out when it comes down to internet game, what it is and why I'm excited for it, and why I think you should definitely have a look into this and be excited for it. And even if you don't want to get into this project, I would pay close attention to it, because I can see this taking off and other projects using this format and structure in the future to then kind of jack a trend and then kind of run it forward. So if you found value in this video, please consider hitting up that subscribe button, or while you're down there, also hit up the like button. As always, it's been a pleasure having you with me. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.